And we're back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nuts and Bolts. Natty, how are you?
I am doing very well. Busy day. I need to tell you something super quickly. I just ducked to the bathroom before and I saw the biggest cockroach I've ever seen in my life. And I rushed quickly and put a cup over him. So he's going to stay there until after the
Is it,
podcast and he's going to get taken outside.
it's not a polystyrene cup, is it? And like your hubby will just go and like take it outside secretly and poke a hole in it, and when you come back, you just find a cup with a hole.
No, 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 no. It is glass. It is see-through, so I can see that he hasn't made an escape when I come back.
It could like the next thing you know, you see Natty running off because the cup's making an escape across the flat.
Oh yeah, I'll just see it crawling off this earth. How have you been,
Uh,
Jim?
I've been really good. So much esports news. Lots of comps going, like international comps happening at the moment. But of course, we have to start with talking about some World of Tanks. So they had round five for the ANZPL happen last Friday, which means we're officially halfway through the split. Um,
That's so crazy.
I know it's happened so quickly, and it also means that it's every team has played each other at least once. We're halfway through the double round robin, and so we're getting to have a bit more of a clearer idea on what's going on, where people are sitting, what and how things might possibly play out. So I just want to show some of this. So this game that we're going to show here. So this was between the Conquerors, the Christchurch Conquerors, and the South Sydney Scorpions, and this kind of just exemplified how their matches went. They went to a tiebreaker. This is the tiebreaker, and it was such a tight game, such a pleasure to watch. Like how Conquerors sort of made that trip there. Bluey went early, and then they got one back for the Conquerors, and it's crazy. And even watching Napa here, you see he's on full health. He survived most of this game on next to nothing health, and it came down to a single two tanks, both on one shot of damage. And I'm going to fast forward a bit because I just want to watch this. Look, these two tanks playing ring around the rosy, waiting for each other to come off the clip so that they're. Well, sorry, Russian was waiting for it to come off the clip, and Whippet misses a shot. It's just the tension in this is ridiculous, and it was just such a fun series to watch between the Scorpions and the Conquerors. Eventually, Russian got the shot in, so they took out the tiebreaker win there. But it was just so good, and you can see him popping off there. Russian decides that he's going for a walk in his
A bit
tan
of a
socks. There,
celebration.
that's it. Well, and why wouldn't you? Like you're one shot away from death, and they just pull that back, and that was just such a good game. That was a game worthy of being spoken about. But it wasn't the only game that got played that night, but it did set a pretty impressive tone for the rest of the night. Adelaide Action X came up with the goods against the Bulldogs. So
Yes.
some concerns there with the Bulldogs. Really, they're sitting down the bottom of the ladder now, but
Mm.
Action X just put on a really good display there, took it to the Bulldogs and come away with the win. And then my Panthers, not so
Oh,
good, but North Sydney Sentinels, when they're on, they are on. Like, you cannot discount how good they are as a team. Like, this is season four, they've won it twice. And if it wasn't for Perth just playing out of their minds last year, North Sydney probably could have gotten into another final as well. Like it's ridiculous how good the Sentinels are, and they've had a pretty standard lineup, and they've got great shot callers, they've got great players, and yeah, you can't underestimate them, and it's no surprise that they came away with a 3-1 win there. So,
yeah. So
but
I'm sorry Perth didn't get up this week.
so am I. But look, honestly, they played well, but it's just the Sentinels played better. There's nothing about it. Like I said, when Sentinels are on, there's not much you can do.
Mm.
But looking at the ladder now, so we've got the Conquerors are still out in front, but only by 1 point. Again, so North Sydney Sentinels outright second as well. And then we've got the Scorpions and Action X 1 point behind the Sentinels there as well. The only two teams that are sort of lagging behind a little bit now are the Bulldogs and the Panthers. So they are one full win outside of the top four there, which is starting to look a little bit not so good. Though both those teams are sort of in a little bit of danger there of slipping behind. And with another 5 games to go, it's going to be hard. Like, it means that somebody has to beat the Scorpions, somebody has to beat Action X, and both Brisbane and Perth need to win to start climbing up again. And it's not going to be easy for either team when, especially like those top 3, the Conquerors, the Sentinels and the Scorpions, they are playing out of their mind at the moment. And it's going to be very hard to imagine a world where those 3 drop. It really is.
Yeah, it's interesting though that it is the round robin competition. So maybe teams have learnt strategies the other teams are playing and they might be more prepared for the rematches. So could be, a bit exciting, a bit more of a mix up in the second half.
That's it. And when they do scrim, so they scrim against each other, and talking to some of the players, the Sentinels don't really do scrimming. They play, they don't scrim, which means that you have other teams play against each other and they get to know them. But the Sentinels don't do that. And I think that might be a little bit of an X factor there for them as well. So it's going to be interesting in the second round robin to see if the teams have learned anything, to see if there's any different tactics that come out. And see if there can be any different results.
Yeah, and fingers crossed for Perth. They can catch up. Not at the expense of Adelaide, though.
No, that's
We've both
right.
got to get into the finals.
If Scorpions and Sentinels could drop a few games, that'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, JT, who's one of the Scorpions players, say they do scrim at least once a week. Sorry, I thought that they didn't scrim as often as other teams. But I was mistaken there. So
a bit of fake news there, Jim.
That's it,
thank
fake
you.
News. Can't have that. But thank you, JT, for correcting me. I appreciate that.
Yes, it's good to have the experts in the audience.
It is, and JT is legendary. He is the shot caller for the Scorpions too, and I can't wait to chat with him. He's actually the one I'm going to be chatting with for next week. So it'll be great to have him in there. But then let's have a look at the fantasy points here. So. I'm doing better in my fantasy team. I'll give it that. So we can see from the Conquerors and the Scorpions match, obviously they've got 4 of the players there. And that's no surprise because it was such a great series to watch. And those players just played out of their minds as well. And you'll be happy to see Saxon from the Action X poking up there as well too.
Let's
Natty.
go.
Yep, that's it. I know myself. I'm actually on the first page of results now for the ANZPL Fantasy League. So I'm at 45th now. So I'm just on that first page, but we're getting there with I'm slowly climbing up, considering I was like in the 50s at one point. So that's
cool. I feel like everybody's clued on to Russian being a pick there, with 30% of people including him in their rosters.
Yeah. Well, I must admit for myself, at the moment, Whippet and Mary Turnip, who's another Conquerors player, are featuring in my lineup. And it's interesting because of the star ratings, and you can only have 18 stars in your team. This was the best combination of stars and points. But Mary Turnip also scored more than a couple of people on the team of the week, but because of his star ranking, couldn't be fit into the team. So I'm feeling my strategy of picking those 2 is going pretty well at the moment. I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Excellent. Oh, well, fingers crossed you'll be able to again have a better second half. Keep climbing up the ladder. That's
it, and see if I can beat J-Rated. J-Rated still a little bit ahead of me, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to beat him one day. We've had 4 seasons where I haven't beaten him. Well, sorry, 3 seasons where I haven't beaten him. 4th is my lucky number, so it's going to happen.
Yeah, we got it. You got it.
That's it. But more importantly now as well, let's look at next week's matches. So this is Friday from 7 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. We've got the South Sydney Scorpions taking on the Adelaide Action X. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one for your Action X there, Natties.
It is, but the boys have got the momentum behind them. They can do it, I believe.
That's it. That's it. And I think that's probably going to be my pick for game of the week there. I think, but it also
Mm.
depends on how the Bulldogs go, because the Bulldogs can be quite a formidable opponent when they get going, and seeing them face off against the Sentinels as well, that should be a good game. And lastly, this one, yeah, between the Conquerors and the Panthers, that's also going to be a pretty interesting one. But I don't know if Perth will be able to get up over the Conquerors. It'll come down to, I think, the map choices that they have, and making sure the Panthers pick one that they can play really well. So that's all the ANZPL tank action that's happening for Friday night over on twitch.tv/World of Tanks ANZ. But it's not all the tank action that's happening. We've also got
What?
the B League that's going at the moment.
Oh,
So
the B League, yeah.
yes, we missed talking about the B League kickoff last week because I was off sick. But it's I did watch last round one. I didn't get to watch round two's games, but round one, the new team Bundaberg Badgers, they trounced the Archers there 4-0 in their game. In fact, it was a week of 4-0 games in the first round. Wolverines and the Centurions. Wolverines came away with a 4-0 win there, and the Comets beat the Hellcats 4-0 as well. I do want to mention just briefly that due to some unfortunate circumstances, the Centurions were only playing with 4 tanks. They did well how they could, but playing a tank down was always going to be hard for them. So, yeah, they got beaten 4-0 there. And then round two of last week, the Comets continued their winning ways, beating the Archers 4-0. Centurions took a game off the Badgers. So the Badgers won 3-1 there, and the Wolverines beat the Hellcats 4-0. So there's it's looking like there's a clear divide between teams in the ANZBL, and I can't wait for one of those winning teams to play off against each other to see what happens there. So that will be very cool. And on the line could be a promotion for them. The winner of the ANZBL plays the last place team in the ANZPL for a chance at promotion. So could be worth it. We could be seeing a new team in the ANZPL come next season.
Oh, I'm rooting for the Badgers. I feel like they need to get promoted to the A League for sure.
It would be cool to see that, like just on the first run through. But I mean, Wolverines have been playing really well for the last couple of seasons as well. So it would be good to see them get rewarded for doing that. And I mean, Comets were in the ANZPL for the first season, so this could be a redemption arc for them coming back and getting back into the ANZPL too.
Lots of exciting stuff.
That's it. That's it. So the ANZB League takes place on Mondays over on twitch.tv/World of Tanks ANZ as well, so you can catch that there. And don't forget the PL happening on Friday nights as well. So much tanks. And not only that, and I forgot about, I can't believe I forgot about this, but
what did you forget about?
Tonight as well is the second round. I have to go find the tweet because I can't believe I forgot about this, but World of Tanks a while back entered into a deal with ESL and created a Tanks League. So I'm just going to quickly put this up on the screen, because that kicked off last week. So this is a 3v3 competition between universities. I think it was a 3v3, but yeah. Anyway, it's a new competition between unis. So seeing that go on, amazing. Get in amongst it, watch it. I'm assuming this will be on the ESL channel. Oh yeah, there you go. ESL Facebook gaming page there. It'll be kicking off. It'll be half done already. So wait until you finish here, then go watch the VOD. Yeah, because
yes,
very important. Stay with us and watch us, because we've still got a few little bits and pieces to talk about. Mainly, we're getting some really cool things, because Halo HCS kicks off this weekend with the Kansas City Major. Can't wait to see this, and Chiefs playing in and representing Australia over there in this international competition.
It's absolutely fantastic to see Halo esports coming back so strong and the fact that the Chiefs could get over there. I know we've had a lot of disappointments recently with the COVID and issues with those kinds of things with our teams getting to travel internationally. So it's awesome that we've got the Chiefs representing us.
Can't wait to see it. So the games, I don't have a time when they're kicking off, just that they're kicking off on the 29th. So if it's a daytime thing, nighttime Friday here, we'll probably be able to start
Oh,
watching
hang
the.
on. I have the
Ooh.
time.
Ooh.
Think. One of my many, many tabs, as you do. Anybody would know. Hang on. I've scrolled down way too deep in this article and it's yeah, no. Let me just see.
That's all right. Well,
Yeah, April 29th to 1st.
mhm.
Oh, they did have the AU time on here. No, nope,
No,
nope.
that's
That's
all right.
something completely different.
But it's I believe it's being broadcast on the Halo and Xbox Twitch channels, so you can check it out there. See how our Chiefs play out there. So the groups have been decided. There's still one team for each group to come through. I'm not quite sure where they're coming from. But Chiefs are in with Ascend, Cloud9, and Xset, and the top two teams from each group will go to the upper bracket. Um, but also the other three teams go through to lower brackets as well. I think no, that can't be right. Surely we knock some teams out. But yeah, there'll be some teams that go through to the lower brackets as well. So I always get confused with some of these
It
brackets.
is it is tricky.
You need a degree in probability to work out where all these are going.
Yes.
Gets a little hard, but yeah, stay tuned. Watch that over the weekend. Some drops are happening as well if you're a Halo player. So there's some cool Warthog customizations and little trinkets for your guns and whatnot and banners. So that's all there ready to go and happen as well. So I can't like it doesn't it's November last year when Halo Infinite came out, and we've
Mm.
already got a major international competition for it.
Yeah, they have just hit the ground running. And I
Mm,
think it's really good because Halo did have a really thriving esports scene previously. So it's good they've been able to kick into it again with Infinite.
mm. There does seem to be still a lot of like I haven't played the game since because I got to rank 100 in the battle pass for the first season, and I think second season's about to kick off. But I just after I got to the battle pass after I finished the battle pass, I sort of stopped playing. But there does seem to still be a whole heap of not anger, but now all I can think of. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. But basically, still a lot of issues with the game that people are complaining about. And I know
Oh,
even
really?
even when I was playing like late night games in Australia, you would get matched with like American servers and be playing with 200 ping, and it was just like, no, we can't
Oh,
can't do that. That's like a quarter of a second for me to click, and by the time I'd done it, I was dead. So there were a little bit of issues here and there, but look, I still enjoyed the game. It was good fun, but yeah.
yeah. Our server issues are always a problem for us in Australia,
Well,
and hopefully it's something they'll work
especially
on.
over here in Perth. If I'm playing like midnight here, it's the East Coast is all gone to bed already. So I'm either
Mm.
playing against like Asians and being pwned like the noob I am, or against North America and yeah, and having to put up with that big ping.
Oh,
But
you have that day job problem where you work many hours a week, so you play
mm,
against people who get to game many hours a week
yeah,
instead.
I just want to have fun. No, that's all right. There's always still fun games you can play, and
Absolutely, yeah.
really, it's like an alarm bell that tells me I need to go to bed. Like when I start getting beaten the crap out of, it's just like, yep, I think that's bedtime.
Yeah. I'm really lucky in team fight tactics that it's not quite so quick reflexes
Mm,
related, so ping doesn't matter so much. But I know when I'm playing on the peak times that I don't win as much
yeah.
because all the best players are on. So yeah, you'll see me on at like 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. No
Mm.
worries.
That's it. So, other international news coming up in May as well. I did write down the dates that this was starting. No, I didn't. Oh, it's 10th of May. So, starting on the
10th
10th
of
of May,
May. Yeah.
MSI, Busan, Korea, go. Let's go. I'm excited
Let's
about this.
go.
Like,
It's so exciting.
after the run that Order had in the LCO to come through the lower bracket and sweep, I think they only dropped like one game in the whole final series. It was incredible to see. I'm
Mm.
keen to see them come up against some of the world's best. And um, a little bit like Pentanet.gg, they've been given a little bit of a leg up. And I should say that with like inverted commas, because they've been put in a group with only three teams again. So there's a region that I think is probably the Russian region. I think
It is the Russian
yeah,
region. Yeah.
that aren't coming to MSI. So Order has been put into a group with only two other teams, but those teams are Evil Geniuses and G2 Esports. So both of them not easy teams to beat,
No.
but but in this case, you only have to be better than one team rather than the groups of four. We have to be better with two teams. So it
Mm.
could be a little bit of an advantage for Order.
Yeah, I was really interested, and I'm not sure if you read about it as well. So the team from China is unable to make it, and so what they're doing to even the playing field, because they're still going to be competing, is they're going to set all the games at 35 ping.
Yeah, I did see that, and I'm a little bit. There's two parts of me that are about that, and my first thought was, I wonder if they would do that for any other region, but also other regions
Yeah.
were like the fact that it's in Korea and they're playing in China. Like I must admit, I'm not a huge geography person. I know Korea is sort of more on the eastern side of Asia, so
Mm.
the fact that they're probably reasonably close to China does help. So okay, so Korea's sort of to the north east of China, but it's pretty much level with Beijing. So it's
Mm.
yeah, you could possibly do that and get away with it because you'd be able to keep the ping reasonable. Whereas and like it's a bit uncharitable of me, I think, to think that would they do that for any other region, but the fact that they're so close lets them do that because the ping is at a manageable level.
Yeah, it was really interesting seeing some of the pros' takes. A lot of them are very anti it. They think it's anti-competitive for the teams that are going out of their way to be there, even
Mm.
though there are reasons why the China team can't make it. Um, I'm very much both ways on this. I don't like it, but I understand why they're doing it, and I feel like it's one of the fairest options that's available.
So
So,
so here's another thing for me to think of. So
mm,
for was it MSI last year? It was the Vietnamese team that couldn't make it due to COVID.
yes.
So would it be feasible to rent out a house, quarantine those guys in a house in well, that one was in Reykjavik in Iceland. Iceland?
Mm.
Yeah. Um, so would it be feasible to do that, still get them over there, but have them in a house and so they're still playing over an internet connection? Like, is that a feasible
Oh,
sort of a thing? Like, or
yeah. I
would it
mean,
be that country regulations wouldn't even let them into the country if?
yeah, that was my understanding is that
Mm,
it was regulations why they couldn't travel.
yeah,
But that is really interesting. I'm honest, assuming that the team that's affected is based out of Shanghai, which is having the mass lockdowns with the COVID zero approach. That's what I'm assuming,
yeah.
which is why they not
Not
being allowed
sure.
to travel.
Mm. But yeah, it is an interesting thing, and I'm always for teams being able to to play. Like I don't want
Mm.
to prevent a team from playing. I want to see the best teams in the world compete against each other, and if you can come up with a way to do it, like you couldn't do it from Perth to the US or to Europe, like because it's
No.
just the ping would be too crazy. I play an MMO on I think it's a West American server, and I still get like 200 or 300 milliseconds ping.
Yeah.
It's not feasible to make professional athletes play on those sorts of conditions. But where you can keep it low, like 35 milliseconds ping is pretty damn close. And
Yeah.
I
It,
must
it
admit,
was interesting.
I
Oh,
don't know
sorry.
what I was about to say. I just don't know what like normal latency is. I think it's about 16 milliseconds from.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
one of the arguments somebody said was that some regions 35 ping is close to what they normally play at, so it actually gives them an advantage.
When you're talking about the difference between 35 and like I said, I'm pretty sure it's 16 milliseconds. In fact, let's I'm going to test on my home network here. Give me two
Oh,
seconds.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Like, so you're gonna ping my router. One thing.
That's not going to show, you're not going to dox yourself, are
Oh
you?
no, no, no! I'm not doing it. I'm not. Um, T. Uh, Maximum time 2 milliseconds. So there. But when you're talking the difference between 0.002 seconds and 0.035 seconds, is it really going is it going to make that big of a difference in your button clicks when they're all
Yeah.
like I don't know what their clicks per minute are, but it's probably something stupid like it's
Yes, I was going to say they're probably doing that many clicks per
yeah.
second.
So
But it's I think it's more about the reacting, being able to react
mm,
to what your opponents are doing, and just having that extra delay might throw out timing a bit more,
yeah,
especially for those skill shots that some of the DPS characters need to hit. It'll just be interesting, I think, as it develops, and when they have player interviews and stuff. I'm wondering if any of them are going to mention it, or if it's just going to slide on through and get
yeah.
left alone.
I think it will probably slide on through and get left alone.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I sorry, let me rephrase that. It is a big deal that a team can't travel, but I'm glad they found alternative arrangements. That's my point of view.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I definitely would preferring that they're being included. Uh, and having another deficit in one of the major teams not being able to go would
Mm.
be, I think, a worse outcome for the
That's
competition.
that's right. That's right. Cool. Um, so we've spoken about some shooting games tonight. We've spoken about tanks. We've spoken about League of Legends.
We
I
have.
think one thing we haven't really spoken about before on here, not a lot. It doesn't happen a lot, but some fighting games.
Yes,
So
and
I'm very keen to see in this because one of the new writers that's joined the writing team here at Game on Oz, Jaeger is his screen name, and he'll have to forgive me because I've forgotten what his real name is. Sorry, Jaeger. Will
Will uh
hang on.
Spray?
This will probably
Is
tell
it
me because
Will
I've got his
Spray?
article up.
Aha!
Will Swift. There we go.
Swift.
Yeah. So yeah, there was an event that happened over the Easter long weekend called Genesis 8, which is a big fighting game tournament. So there was a few different things going out, but the main thing that was happening was Super Smash Brothers. And I'm going to bring up this footage because this is redonkulous, and I do not use that word lightly. Like it is redonkulous. Like two guys playing against each other. This is the eventual winner and the eventual third place players. So it's like I don't remember being able to I've never been able to do
Oh,
anything like this in Smash. Like there is
uh,
no time at all. It's
just the recoveries, when you
mm,
get thrown off and you have to do your double jump or whatever your special move is to get back to the ledge. That was just my massive weakness because I
yeah.
just panic and button mash and just
Yeah.
keep falling. But seeing these guys like being across the other side of the map and then zooming over to the edge, it's just like, how?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like they use shields. Like no, you don't use shields in Smash. Who needs shields? It's like, come on.
I absolutely love that Smash Brothers is a really accessible
Mm,
because if you go to a friend's place and you'll jump in, a button masher still has a chance. But
that's
when
it.
you're at this level, the skill cap is so high, and you said that's right, that their timing is just immaculate,
Yeah.
and it's the real pleasure to watch.
Yeah, and it sounded like it was from reading Will's article on GameOnOz.com. There was quite a bit of sort of changing of the guard. Some of the really well known players didn't perform as well. There was one player that he wrote about that was um, considered to be top five in the world, finished like 30th or something in
Mm.
the tournament, and even the Spargo, who's playing at the moment, he's he's a relative newcomer on the scene and has finished third and has been doing so well during the tournament. He announced that he's signed with FaZe Clan, so he's got some representation there as well. Um,
That's great that these guys are getting those kinds of
mm,
opportunities with the major orgs.
yeah, and it's exciting to see that happening. Like Ultimate's only like a 3 4 year old game. And to see the players come in and be like this, and not only that, but these are DLC characters that they're using. One's Byleth from I think from Fire Emblem, and Cloud. So like being able to learn those players and learn the meta around their move set and everything, it's just it's crazy to me, and I absolutely love it. Like it's chaotic and but just so much fun to watch.
I do wonder how much the pandemic has played into the shift of new gamers, especially in solo games where you couldn't just, okay, well, I'm in quarantine, I'm stuck at home, I can just play this game for hours on end online with the best people in the world. How much that plays into this, meta shift we're seeing and
Mm.
the new players coming to the top and some of our old favorites, not making the finals. It's exciting times for sure.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how. Yeah, it does kind of beg the question of whether the playing online stuff is having an effect. Like 90% of the time, all esports is played online. Like yeah,
Mm.
it's very rarely do you see in person events unless it's like a big championship event. Um, and I don't know. I don't know if COVID's had like it's definitely had an impact from the point of view of the big championships can't happen, but I don't know if it's had that much of an impact on the lead up to these championships.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think from what Jaeger was saying in his article as well, that this event's been running since 2009, but they haven't been able to have an audience for the last few years. So you've got to think that kind of plays into the mix as well.
Oh yeah, or, crowds definitely make a difference, and
Mm.
being able to hear people cheer you on, like it adds a different rush to it all, and very glad that that's coming back. And I'm still thinking about trying to get DreamHack tickets.
Oh, yes. Yes, you need to come over.
No, I just I've already got one trip over planned for PAX, and I'm not sure I could handle two. So we'll maybe I'll wait and see how the funds work out. I think, but
Yeah. Oh, look, the East Coast is getting all the love from me this year.
yeah.
Hamilton.
Ooh. Oh, young.
Dream hack and PAX.
Nice. Nice. I am looking forward to PAX. Like, I hope they have some sort of esports stuff there as well. Like, I know that's not quite the environment for it, but I would love to see something live.
Oh yeah, they usually do host something. There's the PC area where they do run like little mini tournaments and
Mm.
stuff. So even for your lesser known games, I enter the mini Metro tournament every year
Oh,
and got a
nice.
medal last time I
Oh,
went.
awesome.
So yeah, it's lots of fun, especially for casually competitive games, where you're not looking at your CS:GO and that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, your indies that might not get as much love do get their time, which is really lovely to see.
So I'm just picturing like an Among Us tournament. Like, how would that work? Like,
Oh, it's
if you get ejected, is that just it? You're done? Because that comes down to a bit of luck
yeah.
then.
It's been interesting seeing like how Among Us tournaments work and how they score it differently. So if you end up being one of the oh my goodness, it's been so long since I've played. What are the killers called?
Imposters.
Imposters, yes. If you end up being an imposter and how many kills you get versus if you're not an imposter and how many, successful guesses you get at ejecting the right person, they give you points for
Yeah.
different things. So it would be interesting. I personally want to see Among Us with a physical ejector seat if you get killed. Just
I'm just picturing like a you can't do that on television sort of a moment where like you say something and you end up getting slime dumped on, or sitting above like those dunk tanks and you eject the wrong
Oh,
person and the
yes.
bottom just falls out and you end up in the water.
Yes. Don't know if many people would be signing up for that.
I would. Sounds like fun.
Does sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah. We- But I think that's about it for us for tonight. Not a
Yes.
lot of big stuff to come. HCS Kansas City Major and the MSI coming up. So John Cena would sign up for a dunk tank with Among Us, I think.
Oh, yeah. The
But
Kids' Choice Awards when he got
yeah.
slimed. Yeah,
How
for
would you tell though?
sure.
Because you can't see him.
Oh, well, you'd see the splash.
But yes, but thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Had a really great time. And yeah, we will see you next time. Don't forget, Friday nights we've got Streamaholics happening. Tuesday nights, Community Meta, new show. Love it, seeing it. And of course, the weekly show and Nuts and Bolts on Wednesday nights. But
Had a wonderful night with you, Jim. I'll see you next
Mm.
week.
No, bye. Thank you so much for stopping by to watch this video. If you like what you've seen, why not check out this video here? Or if you really like us, drop us a subscribe. And don't forget to like and comment as well. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.